Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Anna Kay. If you're new here, I'm new here. What's up? Today's video, I will be speaking about self-healing and self-guidance and being able to be present to be able to notice that and how this helps us tune in to our higher self and to be connected with the spirit inside that connects us all. So things that I have noticed and that have helped me put me back into my soul, um, as I believe that is what it cost me to, um, is how do I express myself to feel higher to help others? And that is a lot of the time it's being in isolation, and there's seasons for reasons to be, when to be in isolation, when to be out. But I believe some people do need more time to themselves in comparison to others where they are always out and about, they need to do something, they can't. But I feel like those people may be on a different path. And like I said, I probably said this before. We all have our journey. We're all different. I am speaking to those that resonate with this, of course. So take with what resonates and see if it helps you. So for me, I'm looking at my notes here as well. I have a few notes to help me guide me through through this video. Um, So what has helped me to tune in to source is and elevate myself spiritually and all areas of my life have been a lot of time is like what I consume. First off, being with what I eat on a day-to-day, not limiting myself in a negative way because you have to change your perspective and you have to know when to be in what perspective when you're at a certain stage in your journey, I believe too, and it's gonna constantly change. And of course, change is good. Change is always great. So don't think you're something's wrong with you if you're needing a change, or if something doesn't help you, then you gotta change it. Because a lot of the time, even myself, something doesn't work out for me, but I'm not changing it. Like it takes me maybe sometimes like more time to really figure out. And sometimes like I know the answer, but I just want reconfirmation from spirit, or I just want like a clear sign. But honestly, that means I need to change something, because if I'm not tuning in and being able to like trust myself and trust my intuition, then clearly there's something that needs to change at that point. So what has helped me was what I consume. That comes with what I eat. Um, where do I buy my food? What type of foods am I eating? Am I cooking? Am I eating out? So for me, it was changing my diet. It started with like eating a whole plant-based diet. I would still eat meat, especially like chicken or turkey, but not as often. Maybe like once, twice a week on the days, because I was also working out on days like I felt my body was hungry, then sure, I'll have that, also with some carbs. But also I was eating, I would fast. Fasting has helped me so much actually. So fasting is where you don't eat for a long period of time. It can be like I would eat normally from like 12:30, like after 12 until like 7. So from 12 to 7, those like 7, 8 hours, I would eat and then I would stop. I would just drink water if I needed, or I would always end my day with tea, water. So I did that. I know that's what I noticed, a huge shift in myself and my energy. Along with that, I was working out. So I was cooking for myself. I was eating raw. I was eating fruits, vegetables, a bunch of salads. I love salads. Um, what else? So what I ate was a huge, 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 it's like the first thing you have the power to control. That's something like change what you have the power to control. Everything else, let it go. Like we have to be able to let it go. But first of all, you have the power to cook for yourself. You have the power to go purchase your own foods, where you get it and what you eat. And like the type of foods, I guess, how you're choosing them. So for me, it was I started eating more organic, um, organic versus GMOs and whatnot. Fruits and vegetables that had seeds. So those would be your grapes, watermelon, melons, um, and just more like strawberries, organic, oranges. There's some fruits I'd have to make a list. Maybe I'll link it below where you can find a list of what fruits and vegetables are more that we should be buying organic versus ones that you can go by just washing them well kind of thing. I've seen that before and I've always screenshot those for help or look them up because hey, sometimes we can't, honestly, we can't buy organic all the time, especially right now. But yes, you can at the same time. Shifting, like I said, shifting your perspective. So you're shifting your lens and what is it that you want to focus on, right? So for me, at times, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, okay, if I knew I needed to spend money that 2 weeks or that month, like I had a goal, I have a goal, or for example, I need to update something in my home. So for that month, like, okay, I'm not eating out. I'm cooking for myself and I'm eating a little less. So I'm kind of shifting my routine, my energy. And then there's other months where it's like, no, my body needs me to eat more fruit. So I'm gonna go buy um straight up organic. Or like I said, look at your list to see what you can buy organic and what you can get away with not, making the shift again. So when you cook for yourself, I love chopping up my fruits and vegetables. Like the feeling I get, like it's a form of self-love. Like I know I'm doing this for a good purpose. I have good intentions. Obviously, it's for myself. I love myself. For my son, I have a son. He's young, he's 8, and I as I cook for him and myself, like I'm giving myself affirmations like this is like, I put music to like just in the moment, feeling what am I doing? I'm cooking, I'm gathering all these fruits and vegetables and rice, or if it's meats, whatever it is, together to make myself a nourishing meal. And I thank God what I have. So that honestly, it puts me in tune to be grateful in every moment. And I'm grateful that I can buy this. I am eating today. So again, that also comes with perspective, shifting your perspective to what you're able to do and what you're doing for yourself. Because there's a lot of people that don't have this mentality or don't see it that way. They seek out convenience. And honestly, yes, convenience is beautiful. It really is when you can get things out of convenience or do such with convenience. Time is money, which is energy at the end of the day. So you got to pick and choose what is the convenience that you desire for your life. If it's on a day to day as a whole. Sorry, I'm like saying, I'm trying to like give tips and then I'm like saying as a whole how it helps me. Um, so yeah, so overall choosing what you eat, what you consume. So one, it's food, right? Cooking for yourself. Shifting your perspective on how this benefits you. If it's financially, ultimately it's energetically, because when you're knowing this is going to shift you energetically, what do you think it's gonna do? And you have the good intentions, obviously. It's gonna take you higher. It's gonna take you above. You're serving your higher self. You're serving yourself, and that's what God wants us to do. He wants us to help ourselves in any way we can, and He's gonna help us. I say He. I don't think God is He. It's the energy, but I think that little part of the programming is still there. With I say He, she. I think it's more of a she. But nor I or you are female or male. We're just energy sharing each other, experiencing each other. Um, so next, besides food and being able to cook for yourself and self-loving in that sense, would it be, another part of what you consume is if you watch television, social media, um, books you read. Um, I am on social media. I enjoy it. Um, I think years before it would consume me. Now I believe I'm trying to learn how to consume it and giving myself a timer on my phone. I give myself like an hour and a half a day. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like there's periods throughout the year where I'll just literally delete the app. And that's my time of isolation where I'm working on myself, I'm doing inner work. Um, that's like I'll do another video on that if you guys will like. Or if I feel like doing it, I'm gonna do it. And it goes along with this huge topic overall of self-healing through self-love kind of thing. Um, so for me, it would be what type of accounts do I follow and why I'm following them. So I'm noticing I have like different reasons, like inspirational. If I'm learning something regarding nutrition, I'm always like, that's like one of my tops is like learning about nutrition, self-healing, just meditation, metaphysics, spirituality, other things I do follow in regards to like crypto, which I'm still trying to, I have a friend trying to get me to, and my brother learning about that. It's just one thing, like just different aspects. Finances, basically. Let's just okay, finances, nutrition, um, fitness. Of course, I'm into fitness. I love watching those, and there's other ones just people I've met in my physical life that I have on social media. If it was in college, past jobs, family, friends, just people that I've known that I've really actually met. I have those people on social media, but also mostly, honestly, I have more friends, internet friends, as they say, than actual physical friends that interest me. So what I've noticed with that is I believe the timer on the phone has helped me overall. So I would recommend that go on your settings on the app setting and doing a timer there so that you don't, and then you literally get off from your phone. Hmm. Another thing that has helped me that I realize if it's like a new thing relatively for Instagram would be to mute accounts that you don't necessarily unfollow, that you don't want to unfollow or anyone to take personal. So just mute them. That's something that I learned recently is muting accounts that are not inspiring. Because I know some people, I'm not tight with them. I'm pretty collective self person. I'm pretty like me myself. I'm like I have very few people my go-tos, and if I need to talk to them, I'm gonna call them, I'm gonna text them. I'm not gonna be like on social media kind of thing. So there was a time where I would like just, friendships were just kind of like coming to an end, or you no longer had something to resonate with that person, or it was a trauma bond type of friendship. And now we're like, what should I do? Like, do I delete them? Like, I don't want them to take it personal because it's really nothing personal, but I'm not learning nothing from this person. I've mostly had more trauma experiences with this person than like beneficial um kind of thing. And then I figured out about the muting thing on Instagram and social media in general. So I would say mute those accounts that you don't feel inspired, that you're not learning anything from. And they probably do the same with you, which is fine. Like, it's okay to, like, we're here to connect with others, but if you're not inspired by that person, they don't teach you anything, like, what are you doing? Kind of thing. So, so yes, what you consume, so far we have the food, the consuming, social media, and also obviously that goes along with who you hang out with, in regards to like friends. It's like they say, I'm sure you've heard it, tell me who your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So I've been pretty wise about choosing my friends, or who I call friends. And if in the past, like I said, I know I've had trauma bond friends where we related for certain things, like being a single parent, single mom. Like, okay, we had something to relate, all, but we were really in different paths. Like what at the time we had different focus in our lives, even though we bonded because we were mothers, kind of thing. The conversations you have with your friends, of course. I know a lot of time, you have to choose what friend or you vent to your close friends or your parents or close family members, but also be weary and be mindful about the conversations you have. And if what has helped me, um you know ask each other, like, can I vent to you? Is this a good time? Kind of things like that. And then like that's it. And don't talk about other people. Honestly, I had old friends that would just talk and talk and talk about other people, but like tell me, and I would be like, well, tell me about your goals. What do you do? And to them it didn't resonate, like it wouldn't click to them. So I would maybe come off as annoying to them because I've always kind of been goal oriented for most of my 20s. I mean, most of all of my 20s, I've always been kind of goal oriented. So I feel like a lot of the time I've lost friends because we were just in different paths. So anywho, so who you hang out with, also work friends. I know we that have, a 9 to 5. I don't like calling it a 9 to 5. Those that have jobs, we make work friends, and just keep it at work. Honestly. And if you bond in a true deep level, it's awesome to like be able to hang out with friends out of work. But honestly, just because you work with them doesn't mean you have to be their friend. So you just keep it at work because even then you hang around with them so much because you're at work like 80% of your time, 5 days out the week or whatever amount. Honestly, your negatives or their negatives starts kind of to rub off. And I've noticed that in my past. So sometimes like I just know like, hey, we need our space or like just be aware of that. Be in the present moment when you're having conversations or if they're people sometimes tend to attach a little too much to the point where it's like you're feeling, you're empathetic towards them or whatever it is. So just knowing when to like know when to have your own time at work kind of thing. Mm, what else? So we have your what you eat, what you consume, social media, your friends, um, what television are you watching? What type of programming are you watching? Because remember, all of this is programming. Here is to change your programming. You're literally changing your programming here with the self-loving because you are you. You're gonna be with yourself for the rest of your life. So we have to constantly unlearn to relearn. So this is the self-healing journey, the self-love, guiding yourself to be able to listen to your intuition, to your higher self, and guide you to listen to those messages, listen to those signs, knowing when to pick up a message or learning when to speak and when to be still and quiet. Let's see. Another thing I want to add, a couple more things. Another thing is what has helped me to tune into myself and like reprogramming would be where I go to do things, the areas, um, the communities I go to hang out with. And I don't go out a lot, but for example, I like to get to most of my groceries or half of my groceries, not all of them, but at Whole Foods. And I'll go drive to usually Whole Foods are in certain areas anyway. They're not in the inner city, they're out in the suburbs. I'm near. So before when I didn't live in the burbs, I drive out and go to Whole Foods to get my goods. And obviously I found more organic foods there anyway. And honestly, at first I thought that I guess this goes along with, your self-love and the cooking. I thought that it was more expensive than to just go to my local grocery, but in fact, it was not. It was actually the same or a little bit more, obviously depending. Like I get milk, almond milk, it's gonna cost more than regular milk. Just certain things like that. But overall, when it comes to produce, I swear it's the same cost. Um, or maybe that's just because things have risen and maybe my mindset has changed also. Um, but yes, the neighborhoods. Why? Because of the energy. What energy is in those areas like for example, Whole Foods. I'm not gonna lie, they're nicer areas. There's no stagnation there. So it's more beautiful, it's more calm. People seem to be more pleasant, they're happy versus going to like an inner city grocery store somewhere where there's more stagnation. It's crowded, so the energy, just think of it, it's energy just being stagnant together. People are not as happy. They don't like the job or whatever it is, the service. It's about the service. Service is experience. This is experience you're having with your life. So that's another thing to take notice when in your journey and wanting to change. Because all of this is gonna bring change. Again, the point of my message in this video is um your self guidance to tune into your higher self, and that is the experience you're having with yourself, right? Thank you.